In a world where Gen X women are literally trying to understand menopause and just survive out here, and Jesus must be the center of everything we do so we don't end up in jail.
We want to reserve a place where we can address our hot flashes and most definitely everything the Holy Ghost has laid on our hearts, all at the same time.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Elena.
So come on, let's talk about it. Hello. It always feels weird in the beginning when we say hello, just so you know. They know that. But as you can tell, I have this beautiful young woman sitting next to me. Elena is sick, so when you get down and pray for Elena. Yeah. You know she's got to be really sick if she's not getting in on a podcast episode. But Sister Brenda Morris, who is also my aunt, I like to tell people that because I want y'all to know that I have really cool relatives.
Oh my goodness.
She makes me cool. She was our guest speaker today anyhow, but so Elena's next door in her bedroom, sitting in a recliner with cough medicine and hot tea while we're over here having fun.
Poor thing.
Yes, we're over here having fun. So, hey, it is what it is. Now, usually this is the part where we joke around a little bit, but I was trying to think of something funny today, and the only thing I could think of that was funny was on my birthday. Me and Elena's birthday is close. They're close together. They're 3 days apart. And Deidre McCracken gave us birthday presents, and she gave us these little portable fans because we're always talking about hot flashes, right? And so then today, Kelly brought she called it a tiny gift, but for me, it was a really huge gift, okay? But I opened it up, and I'm always using her little paper fan in church. I'm just desperate for it because I forget my neck fan and I forget all those things. And when I come off the platform, I literally feel like I'm going to die. So hot. It's the lights. I told Sister Howard, it's the lights. It's not that the air's on a bad spot. It's the lights. The lights up there are so hot. And when you're worshiping, you know me, I'm up there crazy. So when you're worshiping and you're jumping up and down and this and that and the other, y'all, it's like a cardio workout. So then I get down and I'm just drenched with sweat. So by the time I get to my seat, you know, Gerald and Kelly sit right in front of us. I'm like, Kelly, can I use your fan? Can I please have your fan? So Kelly bought me the coolest, and it's better than hers, just so you know. I don't even think Kelly watches us, but if you don't, Trace will tell you. But because he watches us.
Yes, he does.
But I feel like mine's better than yours, just FYI, because it's not paper, it's wooden, and it's like all these little wooden pieces that open, and it has little holes in it, so the air moves through it as you're fanning yourself. Y'all, this menopausal woman was so just pleasantly comfortable in church today. I was like, look at this fan.
Gift from God.
Look at this fan.
Yeah.
And she called it a tiny gift. It was a very profound, awesome, tiny gift, just so you know, Kelly.
God does care about the little things.
He does care about the little things. Michelle cares about the little things, just so you know. Mm-hmm. I care about the little things. I'm not little, but I like little things.
You're so bad.
So we'll get right into it because we have several people that turned in questions. Beautiful ladies from our church. I love the ladies in our church.
I do too.
They're so awesome.
They're the best.
I think that it's just like a perfect, diverse group of women that we're all so different, but it's just amazing when we all come together and it just flows and jives and everybody gets along, and I just love it.
So many different cultures.
I know.
So many different
It really is the truth.
personalities.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
I love
really,
it.
I do too.
I love it. I love that I have all sorts of different kinds of lady friends, you know?
You do.
I just like people. I don't know.
Me too.
I just like
agree.
people. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read some of these questions, and then we're just going to discuss it. Maybe you have the answer. Maybe you want to work out the answer. She has a lot of answers. Don't let her sit over there and act like she doesn't. Can I just I'm going to say something real quick. She's going to get mad at me for saying that. Number one, yesterday was her birthday.
Oh.
So if anyone deserves to be celebrated, it's her. Okay?
No.
But because of the way I'm athletically built, I can't put her on my shoulders and parade her through town and celebrate her. But I do love her, and she knows that.
Yes, I do.
But also, y'all know my story. You know what I came out of. You know the story, my story of addiction, my story of recovery, my story of redemption. And you're such a huge part of that story because this woman literally stood in the gap for me. Like, she saw the worst of me, but never gave up on me. And so there's just always going to be this special, special place in my heart
Such
for
a
her.
miracle. I'm telling you.
But
no one knows.
she just, I mean, if you know Brenda Morris, you're going to love her.
Oh, Lord, help this girl.
I'm serious. I should start a fan club.
No, you should.
T-shirts and posters.
You got a fan club going on.
Anyhow, if you haven't caught the gist of it already, I love this woman and I think she's awesome.
And you know I love you.
I do know you love me. I'm very thankful for that. So I'm gonna read some of these questions and we're just gonna talk about them. So I'm gonna skip the first one and we're gonna come back to the first one in a minute. But if you could we talked about this one earlier. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice about following Christ, what would it be? I'll even say, like, what would it be in general? I know living for God, following Christ, but if you could talk to your younger self, what would be like the biggest thing that you would say to her?
To be content.
I love that.
And the reason why I say that, it seems like I remember as a younger person that I was always fretting and trying to find the right way and the right road and to just constantly not content. But if I could say to myself, what I know now is that you can find, just like we heard today, you can find a peace that passes all understanding,
right.
And be content wherever you are and allow the Lord to lead and guide you. And he did, but I wasn't always content about it.
Yeah. Grandma used to say that to me all the time because I remember, how much time we spent with them. And I can remember going to Grandma and Papa's house on the weekend and I would be like, Grandma, I wish we didn't live in that old house, or I wish we had more money, or I wish I could, had the more opportunity or whatever. And she would always say, be content where you're at.
Yes.
And just learn how to love like where God has you.
Yes.
And as a kid, I didn't understand it, nor did I like it.
No, you don't.
But on this side of things, maybe that's one of the most valuable things I think I hold on to now is godly contentment.
Yes, the peace.
Yes, because if you have that, anything's possible.
The confidence.
Yeah, it's the truth.
That he's going to bring you where you need to be.
And that he's never going to leave you, even if it is tough.
Never.
Yeah. There's so much value
no matter
in that.
what.
I love that. Okay, so the next question. Can you share some wisdom, struggles, and practical advice from your own walk with God?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. That's a lot to ask someone to answer.
Mainly the contentment and to find peace in knowing after experience, that he's proven to be true in some of the most difficult situations that I don't have time to even go into that I've been through, one being your father.
Yeah.
And the situation there, that was one of the most trying things that I think I've ever been through, him taking his life and leaving us all with a gaping hole.
Sure.
And not understanding and not knowing how to handle, because you never prepare yourself for that kind of thing, but not knowing how to handle it. And the only way you can is through pointing yourself to the right things, the right path with God to climb out of that horrible situation and know that if you can make it through something like that, he's going to take you through anything you face.
Yeah.
And so that's where the peace comes from. That's where knowing that no matter how bad it gets, he's going to be there and he's going to show you the way out.
Yeah.
And he has. He's shown me, I'm 73 now, and he's shown me over and over and over. He never fails.
Never.
He never fails.
He proves himself over and over again,
Over
even though he
and
doesn't
over.
have to. I was telling the youth that I taught recovery to the youth this morning at church and Sunday school. And I told them that he'll prove himself, even though he doesn't have to. He'll prove over and over and over again that he will not leave you.
Never.
Even in the worst of times, he will not leave you. In
Yea,
the darkest
though I
times.
walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
Yeah.
I will fear no evil.
Right.
For thou art with me.
Yeah. Whew.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Yeah.
He's there to protect me.
Yep.
He's there to love me and show me the way.
Yeah. That's the truth. Whew. That'll preach.
That'll preach.
That'll preach. That'll preach.
Except I'm not a preacher.
You say you're not. She kind of is.
No.
She kind of is.
No.
I loved this question when I saw it, just because I can't wait to hear you answer it. But was your mother as gentle and nurturing as you?
Oh.
And I'm laughing because obviously I know her mother. Her mother helped raise me, and I know Pauline. Okay, so I kind of get tickled reading this, because the funny thing is if she was sitting watching this, we'd answer this question different.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I wouldn't be laughing right now.
I think, though, there's a difference there, and I thought about that because Mom was raised different than me.
Yeah, she was.
She was raised in a broken home. Her dad abandoned them when she
Right.
was only 5 or so. She never knew her dad.
Yeah.
And her mother had to raise the 2 children and remarried. And she was from that kind of experience. She really didn't have a religious or a godly experience growing up. And then when she was a teenager, she started reaching out, trying to find it. And she met Dad through her brother's friends that was not really godly.
Right.
But he did point her to the right church.
Yeah.
You know? So she was only like 16 or 17 when she gave her heart to God. And she had to learn kind of like the hard way. She
Yeah,
had to
she
come
did.
through, and Dad was not in the church. They got married. Dad was not in the church, and they had a pretty rough marriage.
Yeah, they did.
Until I was about 7 or 9. And Mom really struggled. She
Yeah.
really had a hard time.
She did.
So I can lean back on that and realize that, yeah, Mom was kind of not so gentle at times. She
Right.
was, but she was strong.
She was strong.
If she hadn't have been strong, she'd have never made it. And I
Yeah.
remember hearing her pray.
Oh,
You talk about intercede.
yeah.
She would pray and intercede, but it was all out of desperation and wanting to live for God and wanting her kids to live for God. That was most important to her
Yeah.
in everything that we
Everything.
did.
Yeah.
That was her
Core of her
priority.
yeah.
And I can give her that allowance of not quite as gentle. And my kids will tell you I wasn't always so gentle.
Right.
So don't think I'm an angel mother either. So
But I think that when she was like in her grandma era, she definitme was
she
gentle.
softened. Yeah,
She was gentle.
she did.
I could talk her into anything.
Oh, yes, you could.
Me and Papa.
You and Morgan.
Boy, I can remember being like 15 years old, and we went to a thrift store, and this thrift store had this cash register, and it was a real cash register. And they wanted like $150 for it. And the thing was huge and heavy. And I was like, Grandma, I really want this cash register. She's like, no. I said, Grandma, do you know how awesome? And you know me, I could sell anything. I learned that
Yes,
from
you
Papa.
could.
I was like, Grandma, do you know that all the grandkids could play with this when they come? Melissa and Deidre and me, we can play store, we can play restaurant.
And you
we
did.
need this cash register. And boy, it took me a minute, but I talked her into it. And she talked him down off the 150. I think she got it for like $75. She talked him down like half of it. And she bought that thing, and they had to load it. It was so heavy.
I can
And when
imagine,
we
'cause
got
I
home,
remember seeing it.
if Papa
Heavy
could have cussed, he would have cussed. He was so mad. I can't believe you paid $75 for this cash register. I was like, Papa, it's going to be awesome. He's like, Oh, he was so mad that he had to carry that thing upstairs. He bellyached about that for weeks. But we used that cash
Y'all
register
did?
for years. Even after it broke, we would keep a butter knife up there to pop the drawer open. We used that cash register we got our $75
Yes,
worth out
you
of it.
did.
But she was gentle. Like she was, and maybe me and Stevie got the chance to see that side of her more than probably the other grandkids because they were more than grandparents to us. And after Dad was gone, she stepped in, not to diminish my mom at all, because my mom, she was just trying to survive.
Yes, she was.
But Grandma was that element that that nurturing and soft element that we needed in that moment. It was, you wake up scared at night and she would come sit at the bed and pray, and she
sing
would
to you.
Yes, and she would rub your face and sing Nothing But the Blood and rub your back. And I remember when she passed away, Matt probably thought I was a weirdo, and I was like, "Will you just rub my back? My grandma used to do it like this, She just was that way. Like she was soft and nurturing in her older age, for sure.
She was.
She was an amazing woman.
Yes, she was.
I don't even remember who asked that question, but whoever asked it, she really was an amazing woman.
She was.
She was. There was no one like Pauline.
No.
There's no one like Pauline.
No. Not another one.
She was fire and ice all in one woman.
Was. Yes, she was. I got my last whipping at 17.
Woo! I'm not even going to talk about the last time Papa whipped me. I'm too embarrassed to share my age. If you could share just one piece of wisdom with a mom raising teenagers, what would it be? What a world we live in.
Oh, yes. And it's a different world from when I raised my teenagers. And my heart goes out to the parents these days. But I would say simply prayer.
Yeah.
And balance. And I remember one time with my son, Gerald, that I felt like he was at an age where he wanted to rebel, kind of. Just he wanted to be tough. And I remember, I don't know if everybody would know the Crows, but he was real close with all the Crow guys, and he decided he wanted to spend the night with them, and my husband was off on some trip ministering somewhere, and I told him he could, but I forget what it was. He talked back to me really, really, nothing terrible, but just like, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm old enough now. They get to that point where it's back and forth. They're trying to find their way and trying to be that man that they know they've got to be. And I came down. I said, I ought to spank you. And he said, go ahead.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, I want you to know that caused fear. Totally. My whole body just went numb. I went, oh, God, we've hit that spot. And so I went in and took my husband's belt, and I gave him a few licks, and he didn't budge. So I thought, okay, how do I handle this? And so in my mind, I'm praying. That's what I did all the time. Give me the right answers. Help me to do what's right. So I said, okay, I'm going to let you go and spend the night. So I took him over there, and I won't go into all the things I did say. But after I got back to the house, I went in his bedroom, and I laid across his bed, and I went into travail.
Wow.
Because in my heart, I knew that this was a crossroad.
Yeah.
And there's so many crossroads when you're raising teenagers, because from one day they're one way one day and one way the next day, and the enemy's out to get them, and all the voices they hear now and all that, you're having to protect them from all that, to maneuver around it. And I was in travail over him, saying, God, you've got to help me have the right words to say to him, how to treat him, but give him a heart. Melt his heart is what I was saying. Melt that rebellious feeling that he's feeling. And all of a sudden, it was back when we didn't have cell phones. The phone went off, and there was a phone in his room. And I picked it up, and I said, hello. And he said, Mom. He was whispering because he didn't want those guys to hear him. Mom, what are you doing? I said, I'm praying for you. I am interceding for you. I went crazy over it. And he said, Mom, I'm so sorry.
Aww.
And I never had another problem with him on that kind of issue. Wow. But I'm telling you, prayer works.
Yeah, it does.
Because we don't know what they're thinking. We don't know what they're going through, but he does.
He does.
And that's the only way we can maneuver with our teenagers is to love them, pray for them, let them see consistency in you.
That right there.
Because that's the number one thing. If he came home and we were all acting in a different way, or if your teenagers come home and see you act one way and then act another way tomorrow and go to church and act another way, you won't have an effect on them.
Because they're paying attention.
They're paying attention. Whether they say it or not, they're paying attention.
Yeah.
But I think consistency in your walk with God says everything for your teenagers.
Wow. And that's the truth. Hey, prayer isn't just all we can do.
You still have to set your boundaries. You still have to have your requirements and stick to them. Yeah. You know? Because some parents like, okay, I better not be so strong here, or I better. But you gotta make up your mind how you're gonna live and how your home is gonna have requirements and standards and things like that you stand on.
Yeah.
And stand on them consistently. Yeah. Whether they believe it or not. It's the only way to reach them.
Because they're waiting to see if you'll budge on something.
Yeah.
Grandma used to say, give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Oh, yeah.
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 They're just waiting.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It's good advice for all you parents out there with teenagers. Good advice.
I pray for you.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a teenager, but he's getting married in November.
You'll still pray for him.
And I'm still going to pray for him. I'm still going to pray for him.
You will. You will.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, and you probably don't even want to talk about this one, but I'm going to bring it back up. And the reason I am is because I think that it's important for younger women to hear a seasoned person. I'm not going to call you old because you're not old, but you have been in ministry. You have been around the church your whole life. And how do you view the role of women in ministry and in the church today? And the reason I say we kind of talked about this is because I had a conversation with one of the girls at church, and I was talking to her about how the congregation will respond differently if it's a male worship leader versus a lady. And it's not because I think that they think it's a sin or something like that, but there's just a difference in response, because I think that a man is solid and he's, you know, he's not emotionally. We talked about emotions earlier. Yeah.
And they consider sometimes a man considers in a woman, which is true. We are of the weaker sex. I know everybody doesn't like to hear that.
No, it's the truth
these days, but we are in God's
how He created us.
How He created us, where we need that protection. We need that. When you talk about who's your hero, my hero is my husband.
Yeah.
Because he's been my rock.
Yeah.
He's been the one to stand there when I'm emotional. He's there to say, oh, no, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
You know, so going back to the thing of women in ministry and worship, you do affect women more than you will the men. And men will respond, but you have to, I know in New York, we learned this right off when we started teaching the husbands and wives there, that women would come into the church and feel the presence of God and just open up, and the Lord would fill them with the Holy Ghost and they would just respond. But the men, we had to teach.
Yeah.
We had to teach a Bible study.
Yeah.
They had to see it
logically
and intellectually before they embraced it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between men and women. So yes, I think men will respond if you do it in a sense anointed
Yeah.
and in a scriptural way, and if you do it the way God would want you to do it, I think they will respond. But you are right. They
Yeah.
do respond
just
to
there.
men
Yeah.
more than they do to women. They don't even realize why.
Yeah. I don't think it's
They
intentional.
do not. It's not intentional.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah.
It's just God's way.
It just is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We were even saying earlier, Papa would have a cow if he had came
Oh,
into a
my
service and I was
goodness.
leading service.
Oh my goodness.
Or if I would have come up, if I would have said, Papa, I'm thinking about getting my minister's license. Oh, my goodness.
Or that
Or
you
baptize
married someone
somebody.
or baptize them. I'm surprised he hasn't come to you in your dreams.
Don't say that. Now I'm going to have a dream about it. He would not have been okay with it. He would not have
Yeah.
been okay with it.
Yes. As long as you're under your pastor, as long as you're
Yeah,
submitted
absolutely.
to your husband,
For
as
sure.
long as you're submitted
Yeah.
to your pastor,
There's definitely
God
boundaries.
can
and there's order.
definitely use you.
Sure. Absolutely. And I'm not getting my minister's license, just so you know. I just thought it was funny to think about what Papa would say. Okay, this one. And we touched on it earlier, like before we started recording, but I'm going to go back to it. And I want you to answer it however you want to answer it. It says, can you share a story about a time when your faith was the most important support for your marriage? And I feel like you're going to go back to New York, but in
And it's-
general, can you share
it
a
actually
story about a time
started-
when your faith was most important support of your
Let me start here.
Okay.
Okay. So I was only 19 when I got married. And I was like, back in that day, especially, I thought getting married was like Cinderella finding her Prince Charming,
fairy
and that he
tale.
was going to sweep her off her feet and everything was going to be romance and just
yes.
beautiful. And I was marrying an evangelist.
Yes,
Oh
girl.
my goodness. That was the dream of my
Yes.
life, marrying an
That was
evangelist.
the golden egg.
It was. And when we were in our first year of marriage, we evangelized. And I remember, he'll probably thank the Lord he's not real big on listening to podcasts. But I remember one day I met with some of the ladies in the church. It was a Saturday, and we were going out to do visitation. And I forget what he told me something. We were staying at the church. That's where they put us up. They had a bed in there and a shower and everything. So we were staying at the church. So we were in the church kitchen, and I said something to him kind of catty, and he told me in no certain tone, in certain tones, what I could do and what I couldn't do. And I turned around to him and I said, "Yes, Father." Well,
This would be funnier for the ones that know Uncle Gerald.
oh, did I ever get it? And I was devastated. And here I had to turn around, go meet these ladies, and go out
Oh,
as the evangelist wife and reach
and be the
out
good
to
godly
souls.
wife that you're supposed to be.
And I swallowed it,
Yeah,
and I went out.
yeah.
But it brought me back to, I read a book that helped me too. It was a godly book about unfulfilled expectation. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, it is.
Because if we have these expectations of what our life should be and how people should treat us
Yeah,
and what we should do and all that, I remember even on the sideline too, my parents would fuss about me being their only daughter, and I didn't come to see them enough, and I stayed under this guilt trip all the time, just
Yeah.
like I can't be there for them for when they want me there. And it was just a constant thing. But one day it hit me. They had unfulfilled expectations.
yeah.
They were thinking that their daughter should be there at any
Their beck and
time,
call.
at their beck and call,
Yeah.
that's what a daughter should be.
Yeah.
So it was unfulfilled expectations
On
for
their
them.
part. Yeah.
it follows through with everyone.
Yeah.
You know, if we've got these preconceived ideas of what marriage should be and what life should be all about and how our parents are and how our kids are, and we're constantly disappointed and overwhelmed by it because it's not what we thought it should be,
Right.
then it's going to be a hard road to hoe.
Yeah, it is.
Because you can't expect anything except what God lays in front of you, and you walk that path and you do it the best you can, and you hold his hand and you flow through things that you never thought you could,
Yeah.
because that's how we're going to make it to the end. We've
Yeah.
got to keep our eyes focused on where we're going and what we're doing for him.
Right.
I read a scripture this morning about how Paul was talking about servants and slaves in that day. Do everything that you do as unto the Lord,
Yeah.
to your master, even when they're not watching.
Wow.
Do it as unto, I wrote it down too. It was Colossians 3:22. Can we read it?
Yes. Go for it.
Okay, let me find it.
Colossians 3:22.
Uh-huh. Colossians 3:22 through 25, I think it talks about the slaves of that day. And this is what I go back to when it's things that I don't really enjoy or want to do. I'm going to do it as unto God,
Yeah.
not for my own benefit or any other thing. Read it.
It says, slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything you do. Try to please them all the time, not just when they are watching you. Serve them sincerely because of your reverent fear of the Lord. Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you are serving is Christ. But if you do what is wrong, you will be paid back for the wrong you have done, for God has no favorites.
It's
Woo!
just simple. Yeah. You
That-
just do everything that you have to do.
I need to get my life
Some
together.
things you have to do in life,
Yeah.
but do it as unto God.
Yeah.
Do it as unto God.
Yeah.
And that's how you,
And there you go.
that helps you with being overwhelmed.
I mean, that's the truth. But we got one more question.
Okay.
One more question. I know y'all are sad because we could keep her on here forever. The last question is, what has helped you stay faithful and close to God through the different seasons of your life?
Well, the first thing is the fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. That's
No.
a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Respecting his word, respecting his law, respecting who he is, and doing everything that you know to do his will. Then to love, to truly love,
Yeah.
to really care about people, put yourself in their places, think about how you would feel in their situation, and really, really love them. And lastly, forgive. And I had to learn the hard way on that one.
Yeah.
And it was in New York, and my husband had become the presbyter there, and I won't go into detail, but one of the ministers, and that's when it's really hard to handle, said that he had lied and that he had done some certain things. And I knew as his wife, he didn't do any of it. He was totally innocent. And we lived in Queens, New York, in the city. And the other end of New York is, what is it? Not Schenectady, but on close to Niagara Falls. That minister lived all the way up there, and we were just surviving on just a little bit of money, barely making it.
Yeah.
And my husband, I kept hearing him. He needed to make this minister okay with his situation, so he took money that we did not have and flew up there to try to make amends and to make him realize that he hadn't done the things that he said he did. And that minister went around saying he was guilty. That's why he flew up there.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was in my 20s, okay? And you know how the Williams get.
I was just going to say that DNA.
Was all I could handle.
Williams
and
DNA.
Then I really got angrier because every morning I would hear my husband pray. And he would go to the front of our apartment on the 3rd floor. And he would cry and pray for that man and tell the Lord to bless him. And I was in the other end saying, no, God, don't bless him. Okay? But through that horrible situation, and I won't go into details, I learned that forgiveness that Gerald Morris had for that minister is what has brought us through all these years.
Sure.
Is that when people do you harm and do you wrong, that you can actually pray for them and love them anyway and forgive them. It releases that inside of you, and you can be what God wants you to be because you don't have all that baggage.
Doesn't the scripture say, pray for those who hate you and despitefully use you?
Yes.
That's a hard prayer.
So,
but it's a healing prayer.
That's how you make it to my age and still love God and still want to do his will.
Yeah. And it's in that kind of connects all the things that you said connect to the very first thing you said when you were talking about godly contentment, that contentment. Because it weaves in and out of all the things you just said.
Yes.
It's like, it's a necessity.
It has to be.
It has to be a necessity.
That's how you make it.
It is.
And we don't know what tomorrow's going to hold, folks.
We don't.
We
Our
have
world is such a crazy place.
We have no idea.
We really don't.
But we know who we trust. And we know who we serve.
That's it right there.
And we know he'll be there to take us through whatever we face.
And we can trust him.
We can.
We can.
With all of our hearts.
We can.
With peace.
Man, I'm so glad you came today. You're awesome.
Well, I'm not a movie star. I don't like to get into
You're
the
better than a movie
lights,
star.
But I'm glad. In fact, I asked the Lord, I said, don't let it be about me. Just let me say something that might help somebody else. And I hope I have.
You have. Well, we love you guys, and we will certainly see you next time.